What's happening, you bad motherfuckers? It's Thursday, February 4th. The joint is brought to you by Relief Band. Do you know that a third of Americans regularly suffer from nausea? Listen, after this surgery, those pills got me nauseous as fuck. I got Relief Band, I put it on. It's on me every day since I've had the surgery. It helps with the recuperation, and this is why I love it. Relief Band is the #1 FDA-cleared anti-nausea wristband that has been clinically proven to relieve and prevent nausea and vomiting. The product is 100% drug-free, so it doesn't make you drowsy and has 0 side effects. How do I know? Because I've been using it for the last 4 weeks. This kind of thing is used only and available at hospital patients, but now it's available for everybody. Relief Band is the only over-the-counter wearable band that has been used in hospitals and oncology clinics to treat nausea and vomiting. Like I said, I've had it on for the last 4 weeks. Those pain pills make me nauseous, whether it's the codeine, the oxycodone, whatever it is. If I don't have my wristband on and I go to PT and I'm in the back seat, I get car sick. If I have my band on, boom, I'm brand new. I'm telling you this from experience. Relief Band works. Ensure nausea is never the reason to miss out on life's important moments. Right now, Relief Band has an exclusive offer just for Uncle Joey's joint people, my family. You guys are family. If you go to reliefband.com, and use promo code Joey, you'll receive 20% off, plus free shipping and a no questions asked 30-day money back guarantee. Did you hear what I said? If you go to reliefband.com right now, you use promo code Joey, you're going to get 20% off, plus free shipping and a no questions 30-day money back guarantee. That's what I'm talking about. So head over to Relief Band, ReliefBand.com, and use promo code Joey to receive 20% off and get relief from that nausea. You're gonna tweet me, Joey. Thank you for referring me to Relief Band. Now, from the heart of Jersey, I'm bringing you DraftKings, and if there's a weekend for DraftKings, it's this weekend. Why, Joey? What's going on? I've been living under a fucking rock. Well, let me tell you, cocksucker. It's the 55th Super Bowl this Sunday. Buccaneers versus the Chiefs. It's going down in fucking Tampa. They're letting people in. They don't give a fuck about COVID. They don't give a fuck about nothing. This game deserves a big prize, all right? Not just some fucking trophy that some old guy gives you with bad breath. To finish off the football season, DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is giving you, all you players, a no-brainer offer. Are you ready for this? To celebrate the football finale, DraftKings Sportsbook is doubling your money if a touchdown is scored in the big game. What are you talking about, Joey? A single touchdown. Just a touchdown. A touchdown, you win money. That's right. All it takes is one touchdown to be scored Sunday night, and boom, your money's doubled. It's a no fucking brainer. A single touchdown and you double your fucking dough. Who's better than you? If you've been waiting on the sidelines all fucking year, listen, this is the last fucking train out of fucking Auschwitz. It's time to lay your fucking money down. That's it. Enough with the bullshit, you cheap cocksuckers. You want to make a little cash? This is the fucking weekend, all right? And don't forget DraftKings Big Game Prediction Challenge with up to $55 million in total prizes up for grabs and instant prizes for everybody who enters the contest. Listen, when it comes to fucking having fun, DraftKings is #1. They're fun as hell. I've been discovering them lately and I love it. Tonight you got some games. It starts tonight. Tonight I think you got like Denver against the Lakers. Look at that line. And you got Portland against Philly. Take a look at that line. DraftKings is for you. It starts tonight, okay? DraftKings has paid out over $7 billion to its players since 2012. so they know a thing or two about big paydays. So this weekend, it's your big fucking payday. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now, today. Use promo code Joey to get a shot at doubling your money if a touchdown is scored on Sunday's game. How easy is that? That's promo code Joey to get a shot at doubling your Geetus during Sunday night's season finale. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook, the best sportsbook in the fucking world. You understand me? And here's the part the lawyers make me say. You gotta be 21. Take your fucking kazoo and shove it up your ass. You're not allowed in here. New Jersey, Indiana, Colorado only. Restrictions do apply. See DraftKings.com/prediction-challenge DFS for details. Now, if you got a gambling problem, you gotta take care of it. That's a good thing about DraftKings. They don't let you bet over your head. But if you got a problem, get the fuck out of here. Go get help. You got 1-800-GAMBLER, or in Indiana, 1-800-9-WITH-IT. Or in Colorado, 1-800-522-4700. But if you ain't got no problems and you're ready to fucking rock and roll, this is the weekend to start. Go to DraftKings right now. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use promo code Joey. I'm even lighting a candle for you for tonight. So go bet the fucking Lakers against the Nuggets. There you go. Candles lit. I love you motherfuckers. Hey, look who it is. What's happening?
Check 1, 2. Welcome to Uncle Joey's Joint.
What's happening, you bad motherfuckers? Uncle Joey here. Thursday, February 4th. I'm sorry about the podcast this week because of the snow and shit. I didn't want Mike driving around and all that shit. Plus, Thursday's a great day to release a podcast. Nobody misses out nothing. Friday, that's a fucked up day. We got about a fucking foot of snow up here. My daughter was fucking ecstatic. I went out there. I can't do dick. If I fall, I fucking go back to the hospital. So I was out there walking around and stuff. Fucking snow was beautiful. I forgot how much I missed it, man. Fucking beautiful. There's parts of New Jersey where they got 34 fucking inches of snow. I mean, it was just fucking beautiful. They took a sleigh riding yesterday. She went over there with Jimmy Florentine's son and a bunch of other kids. And my wife went down a hill. Our neighbor, Frank, went down a hill. But they had a great time, and that's all that mattered. It wasn't that fucking cold. Nobody was dying. It was just a regular winter fucking snowstorm. They haven't had this much snow in I don't know how many fucking years. But it was great. I got to tell you something while it reminded me about snow real quick. The cop that I turned myself into that pulled the gun on me when I fucking kidnapped Bella became my friend on Facebook. So how's that for you motherfuckers? I sent them a note and I friended him. James Kolar, great guy. He was involved in the John Bonet murders. He was one of the investigators in the John Bonet murders. I saw him on CBS one day, and I sent him a you see the type of guy I am? I saw him doing a John Bonet thing, and I looked him up on Facebook. I sent him a fucking email on Facebook. He never returned it back to me. I was like, what the fuck, you know? Then I sent him a really nice one. I told him that he arrested me, that fucking, I'm a comic now. I've done well for myself. I turned my life around. And he friended me and he sent me a nice note. How's that? After 37 fucking years. Who's better than you, cocksuckers? That's what's being called relentless right there. Now, the other cop that arrested me, he could burn in hell. I don't give a fuck about him. But Jimmy Kolar was a good fucking cop. But anyway, today we're going to cover one of the spectrums of the mind of Joey Diaz, and that's addiction. And one of the parts of addiction that I consider an addiction that people wouldn't consider an addiction, it was when I was a kleptomaniac. I was a professional fucking kleptomaniac. It's embarrassing to even talk about. I've gone through the whole spectrum of problems as a kid. From 5 to 7, I was like a professional. I was like a semi-pro pyromaniac. I could light fires anywhere. I knew how to control oxygen. I did the Boy Scouts for like 2 days. I just knew different things. I knew where to set a fire, how the wind would blow. I mean, it was fucking crazy. And then one day I almost burnt down a building and I stopped being a fucking pyromaniac. Nobody deserves to fucking... I think I burned myself at the same time. I said, this pyro shit ain't for me. As a kid, I gotta be honest with you, I was such a Catholic, I wouldn't think of fucking clipping anything. It wasn't until I got out of Catholic school that I started clipping bicycles and stuff like that. And I didn't look at them as clipping them. It wasn't me that was actually getting on the bike and riding the bike and the kid's like, hey, come back. No, that wasn't me. I don't want you to think I was that type of person. I was involved in the daily operations, maybe investing in paint, selling the bike for him, whatever. I'm a salesman, not a fucking, But the klepto thing started after my mother died, Once everything broke down in my life, I became a fucking professional klepto. I mean, I just had to fucking steal it. I had to fucking steal shit. And it went on for years. It was a disease I fought for fucking years. The only problem is there's no kleptos anonymous. There's nothing for the fucking klepto. The klepto just lays there. If you're an alkie, they got a problem for you. If you suck 20 dicks in 1 year, they got a fucking meeting for you. They got a meeting for everything. But if you're a klepto, they got no meetings for kleptos, fucking anonymous. So it's tough to tell these fucking stories or to be honest about them because, and it's just the truth. I'm just trying to, this is one of the fucking things of the circle. Addiction. Part of an addiction is something stupid that you're doing. And to hide it, like I was robbing drug dealers and I was robbing a jewelry store. That's fucking one thing. That's called burglary. That's a complete fucking different thing. But when you got to take a fucking, I would have to steal a lighter. Like shit like that. Like I would do dumb shit. I was just talking to somebody maybe a month ago or something. I go, does that person still work with you? Man, it was longer than that because it had to be before the pandemic. And they said that person didn't work with them no more because the shirts always came too short. Every night after a show, even though he sold 100 shirts, the money would always be missing for 2 fucking shirts. That was me. You know what I'm saying? Like, now he's got 4 guys helping him. He's got to sit there every night like a fucking swami and see who's got enough balls to steal 2, $22 shirts from him every fucking night. And I laugh because that was me. In my mind, in the klepto's mind, he always has to get over. Even if they give you 6 shrimp, you got to take 7. You know what I'm saying? Nothing is fucking good enough. I remember pulling up to the fucking Comedy Store one day in 1999 maybe to get a check, pulling up there and seeing 10 cases of booze outside, that the liquor guy had left off but they weren't inside, and me having to fight the fucking urge to steal all 10 of those because I knew it was easy money. All you gotta do is put them in the trunk of your car and go to a liquor store and give them a price. Go to their shelves, see what they charge for it, go to the car, give them a case for half price, and they'll fucking buy all 8 of them. But I knew I was smart enough that was my place of business at the time. I had already matured. I was 30 years old. I didn't want to fucking get thrown out of the Comedy Store for stealing booze. But that's how long it was still in my blood. I just want to let you guys know. But the peak of it was when I was 20 fucking years old. What made me think about this whole thing was this fucking snow. The other day I was outside when it first started snowing. I was watching my daughter with the neighbor's kids going up and down, and I saw when she came up, she left footsteps. And I thought about this fucking story that is just mind-boggling that I did knowing, when I moved to Colorado, by the time I got to Colorado, I was already damaged goods. Let's not get... I will tell you one thing about when I first went to Colorado in '83. I wasn't the junkie I ended up becoming. I still had everything under control. Believe it or not, I had the reefer under control. The alcohol was very minimal. I was playing a role, so I was not doing coke in public, I think from April of 83 to February of 84, if I tell you I snorted twice a month, that was, and in those days, come on guys, I ended up doing coke 7 nights a week. So I wasn't really, the drugs were still under check. I had taken some Valiums, I had done heroin at that age. But up there, when I was living in Snowmass between April of 83 and February of 84, my world was basically reefer. It was 92% reefer. I think I took a Quaalude maybe 2 or 3 times. Took a Quaalude on Halloween, thank God, because we were dressed as abortions. If we would have gone up to the fucking parade, they would have fucking killed us. I took a Quaalude on Thanksgiving. I swear to God, me and my buddies, my roommate, dressed up like abortions. We put hangers around our neck, and we put long underwear on, and we were watching Monday Night Football, and we ate a Quaalude. We're like, we'll wait till the Quaalude hits, and then we'll go to fucking Monday Night Madness up there for Halloween. Up in Aspen has like a mall crawl like Boulder. Boulder and Aspen are both known for their Halloweens. And fucking next thing you know, we wake up, it's 4 a.m, it's Tuesday. It's like, man, he's laying there with a hanger around his fucking neck.
He almost became an abortion.
Unfucking believable. So then fucking Thanksgiving, I ate a Quaalude. And I think New Year's Eve, maybe I ate a Quaalude. My drug problem was under check. So there was no reason for me to act how I was acting. I got, every month in college. It was funny because one time Joe went to Boulder and I called him when he was there. And I go, what do you think about it? And he goes, all I can think about is you fucking, living here. And it's like a candy store for you. It's like a kid in a fucking candy store. I go, please, you should have seen Snowmass in 83. And he was exactly right. I was like a kid in a candy store. I'd come from an area where everything is locked up. In North Bergen, New Jersey, everything's locked up. Your car, you fucking lock up your bike, you put 2 locks on your shed, you put fucking titanium explosives, and then you're out in Colorado and people leave their car windows open, their cars open, they have ski closets, and they leave skis in there, and you can just take the skis and sell them secondhand. I mean, the trust value was fucking phenomenal. And for a knucklehead like me, I just took it. I was a fucking knucklehead. Why do you think? I mean, my 2 options when I went to move were either Colorado or New Jersey. You know why I didn't go back to Colorado? Because of the embarrassment I have towards that state, towards those mountains. Those mountains were beautiful. I always wanted to go to Colorado, ever since I was a kid. And I'd watch like the news, or they show you like, this show's coming on tonight, 9 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock Mountain. I'm like, mountain? Who lives on a fucking mountain? I want to go see that fucking mountain. So I ended up going out there, and I ended up acting like a fucking asshole. Ended up doing time, ended up getting divorced. So I don't deserve Colorado. That's God's country. But till this day, I still feel that strongly that I like shit on Colorado. I was like a fucking asshole. It wasn't a place for me to act that way. But at that time, I didn't know any better. I was just a young, stupid kid who had lost his mother and thought the world owed him something. That's what I thought. So if you weren't going to give it to me, I'm going to fucking take it. And that's not the right fucking attitude to have at that age. And I had to actually work on my klepto skills. Like, I actually had to wake up. You know how I write my goals today? I used to have to wake up and go like, today I'm not going to fucking steal. And I didn't know about writing it down or anything like that. I would just say it to myself in the shower, like, today I'm not going to fucking steal. Like I would, I told you the story when I got the job at the fucking Masback Hardware, and the guy told me to go upstairs to eat lunch, and I went upstairs to eat lunch, and I thought the lunches were for free, and I opened up the cabinet, and there's fucking a sandwich in there with like milk or something. I ate the whole fucking thing. I don't even know what the fuck it was. I just told the story on the church. And 10 minutes later, this big black guy comes in. He's like, somebody stole my motherfucking lunch. And he ripped the fucking thing off the thing. Like, I did shit like that. Not because I was a douchebag, just I didn't know better. But by the time I got the fucking Snowmass, I fucking knew better. And I was just, dog, I was taking everything. Everything. But when I tell you that I would have to fucking tell myself, like, I'm not stealing nothing today. I'm not stealing. Like, all right, like, Joey, give us an example. When I worked for Chip Chilson Masonry, right? I would always take home 2 bags of concrete and sell them. Just knucklehead shit.
You make something.
At lunchtime, I go get 2 bags of concrete and put them on and put my fucking winter jacket over it or whatever I had in the back of the truck. And once I would have like 10 bags, I'd go up to the job site and sell them for fucking like $30. Like shit like that. Like I was just a fucking stupid klepto. You know what I'm saying?
It's like entertaining.
Like it was entertaining. And I did shit. But then I would control myself. But then I was like, oh, let me have a cocktail. This is when it got really creepy. This is when the kleptoism got really creepy. When I would have a cocktail, I would drink Southern Comfort and orange juice those days. The most disgusting shit in the world you could drink. Who the fuck drinks Southern Comfort and orange juice? I would drink 2 of them and get fucked up. And then I'd have to steal something. You have no idea how many things I stole.
Did you remember him? Like
the next day?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like, there was this dude that had a hard-on for me. I don't know why he didn't like me, a snowmass. I didn't like him too much either. He had, like, an edge of white privilege. He was very white privileged, and he owned, like, a sandwich shop. And one day I went in there, and he gave me a fucking hard time. Second time I went in there, he gave me, like, a hard time. Like, ham and cheese. What type of cheese? I don't have to ask you again. Like, he was like half a tough guy. I wasn't a tough guy, so I said, whatever. He made a great 3-cheese sandwich. I remember that. They made great 3-cheese sandwiches. Well, one September, I'm walking around up there, and a friend of mine actually worked for him. I became friends with him after spending time up there. And I went up there to see if my friend was there. I think he sold weed. I don't fucking know. And I went around the back, and sure enough, the door was open. And I fucking went in, and I just robbed everything. There was a bank bag right on top of the thing. I just took it. I think it was like $1,800. I went up to Aspen. I bought a stereo, speakers. I bought the first Madonna album. I bought the first Dio album, Holy Diver. I did shit like that. I hated that guy that owned that business. Plus, he was a musician. He was a conga player at night at a different bar, the bar that was next to John Denver's. So one night, I told my buddy, I go, Carl Hall, the dude who punched fucking Shotgun Doug's friend and knocked him out. Carl Hall was an animal. By that time, I knew Carl Hall was all the way in. So me and Carl are at this bar. I worked at the Tower Restaurant. That was John Denver's restaurant. I was a dishwasher, and I had the night off. So I said, let me go fuck it up with Carl a little bit. So there was a bar next to the diner, to the Tower Restaurant. I don't know what the fuck the name of the bar was. So Carl didn't like that dude either. Carl did not like that fucking dude who played the congas and owned the fucking sandwich shop. So
Just talking about cheese.
Carl got fucked up one night. And I walk in there and I get a fucking, a fucking Jack Daniel, whatever the fuck, a sour, whatever the fuck, what was I drinking?
Jack and orange? Or no, Southern Comfort and orange?
Southern Comfort and orange juice. I got 2 of me lit in me already, right? Like Christmas Eve. I swear to God, Christmas Eve, 1983. I go in there. It's maybe 6 people. Carl, a guy with a guitar, like playing like a classical guitar, and the guy that owns the restaurant playing the bongos. I take a look at Carl. I go, look at that fucking hump. That fucking sack of shit. I can't stand him. Carl looks at me. He was a redneck. He's like, I don't like him myself. I said, he goes, watch this. And he went and he got a fucking beer. And he shook it up. He shook it up. He shook it up. He shook it up. And he walked over to the guy. And he just unloaded the beer in the conga player's face. And he got up. And he's like, I'll fucking kill you. And Carl goes, come on, I'll see you outside, tough guy. Carl ran outside. The guy chased him. I got up and picked up the guy's conga and ran out the back door. And I sold it to my neighbor for the small 25 that night. You know what I'm saying? That's how we ran those days, Doug. That guy looked for that conga for fucking months. He couldn't find that fucking conga. I forgot all about that story. You see what I'm saying? I got plenty of stories. You guys thought I ran out of them. I just had to dig. This is what happens when you write a book. You think about all that shit. Because I've been making notes on little things. Now that I'm writing, every time I see something, I make a little note. And I go, I got to lay this. Dog, that night was tremendous. That dude looked for that conga drum for fucking years. Listen, I left in February of 84. I came back in October or November of 86, and Carl Hall pulled me over one night. He goes, do you know that dude is still looking for that conga drum? I had forgotten all about the conga drum. We had died. He had even at one point put like a help wanted sign, like a sign all around Snowmass Village and Aspen, looking for that specific conga. The guy I sold it to was a conga specialist. He was a real conga player. This guy was a fucking Mozambique. This fucking guy I sold it to really knew about the conga. He wasn't quite. It was worth a lot of conga. It was a lot of. It wasn't like an LP. LP was the conga of choice when I was growing up. That was the brand. But this was like a fucking. He had it like custom made somewhere. I stole the man's conga. How fucking crazy am I? So it's funny because that was who I was back then. And I tamed it. I tamed it for a long time. And then I couldn't tame it anymore. Like I tried to put it in a capsule for a long time. You know, the summer of 84, 83, I spent my whole summer shooting. That's all I did. Saturdays and Sundays, shooting, learning how to make bombs, how to make tripwires. You know, this guy was training me to be a fucking masochist. Like he was just training me to do some crazy things. And I loved it. I wanted to be that person. You know, I don't want to be that person today, but that's what I was training to be. He was teaching me how to shoot with a scope. I mean, this guy was teaching me how to do some crazy fucking stuff, you know. Once I moved to Snowmass Village, it was harder for me to see Fred. You know, I would see him instead of 4 times a month on the weekends. I would see him just like, you know, once I started taking classes and fucking working for the electrician, the whole thing, I wouldn't see them that much. You know, I was working Saturdays, so I couldn't go shoot that much. That's when my kleptoism got high. Now, I wouldn't klepto from people that I knew. I would just klepto. And klepto, when I say klepto, I mean the complete fucking package. I was just a fucking nutcase. I mean, you know, everything had a question mark to me. Like I would walk past an eyeglass place and say to myself, I wonder if they got 50,000 in the fucking safe. And I would convince myself that they had 50,000. It was like the most retarded thing I ever did in my life. I would convince myself that there was $50,000 in there. Then I would break in there and there'd be fucking Ugats in the fucking safe. And I'd get pissed off at myself. Let me tell you something. You know that a lot of you watch those cop videos and see amateurs, like, you know, fucking crooks that make mistakes. You don't need to watch those. Just ask me. I got plenty of those fucking stories. Especially in the fucking snow. That's what was making me think about all this. That once the snow got added to my fucking element, it was tough being a klepto. Because you leave tracks. It's tough. It's tough being a fucking klepto. Because they got you with the fucking tracks. I had to learn how to work around that shit. So I was a klepto full time until it started snowing. And then my roommate brought it up to me. He's like, Doug, they're going to catch you with the fucking tracks, with those fucking boots. You got to wear boots that people that are very popular. Mm-hmm. You know, so everybody had Sorels, I guess they call them. Sorels boots, that's what they had. So I had to get Sorels that were really popular to fucking shoplift, you know. But I at that time I had watched a movie called The Thief with James Caan. I was doing all these little klepto moves, and I felt it was time for me to pull the fucking trigger. I felt it was time for me to go fucking big time. So between us, I always told you I took classes, and I took residential wiring as an elective. I took residential wiring so I could learn how to break into a fucking house. Makes sense to you now? You think I took residential wiring because I was crazy about being an electrician? No, I took residential wiring because it would give me an intro into wiring. And then it just so happened I got good at it, and I started working for an electrician. And while I was working for the electrician, I met another man that today I actually think he was in a witness relocation plan. Today. He wasn't a New York guy, not a mobster guy. For some reason now, today, in hindsight, 2020, I think the guy was a fucking relocated witness. He was a deadly killer. I did not know that. He had a sweet fucking wife. I basically lived over there. It started off with, I forget his and her name. I love to reach out to them now and thank them for how they treated me. They didn't have kids. He was one of the top electricians at the company. They assigned me to him after I fucking fucked up the other guy that we beat with the stick down there in fucking Carbondale. They assigned me to him. He taught me a lot about electricity, but I could tell one night we were having a conversation, he had a little wild side to him, so I started asking him about alarms. And he started teaching me about alarms, where to cut them, this, that, how to bypass them. He taught me little stuff. We actually did 2 or 3 little jobs. We didn't steal nothing, just to learn how to bypass the alarm, It was 83. It wasn't nothing very eccentric, nothing like lights or beams, or there was no cameras, so there was less to worry about. It was just a common, break through if you could get through the alarm box and move some wires, you could open up a window and get in there, I wasn't no high-level fucking Pink Panther. I don't want you to think that either, In my head, that's who I wanted to be. I was lifting weights, I was running. Everything I did was to help me be a better thief. This is a very sad story to tell, but it's a very true story, So the big thing I was working up for was a job I was going to take down around between Christmas and New Year's Eve. I was going to take down, I had already taken down a bunch of places, and I had already raised the flag in Snowmass Village. Now they were looking. They couldn't put their finger on who was doing it. So I cooled down for like 2.5, 3 weeks. I cooled down. I left them completely in their tracks. They didn't know what the fuck to think. You know me, dog. I always got 3 things ahead of me. So I made a decision to go back to New Jersey February 1st of 84. I had some money put away. Do you know that? Do you know I actually put away good money? Not $1 million, not $500,000, not $250,000. I probably had a couple grand. I don't know, 8, 9 grand. I don't know. And in those days, that was good enough for me. That was good enough for anybody. But it wasn't good enough for the klepto me. Plus, I had a block of hash. I had a couple ounces of fucking coke. I had a bag of fucking jewelry. I didn't have anything at my house. I was working on a construction project, a 4-week project with this old man. And he was redoing these 5 condos. So he told me that the 3rd condo in the middle, the people only come in July. They don't even come in the winter. They don't like skiing. They only came there for the Tour de France, like the bike thing and some balloon race or some shit. So he told me, he goes, if you ever are in a bind, go underneath and take the key out. They had food in there, the TV worked, the fucking phone worked. So what I did was, I didn't involve their house, because if they came home, then I would be stuck. They had a little ski closet outside. I didn't break the lock. I made it so the lock couldn't close, and I would hide all my stuff in there. Anything that I stole, coke, cash, the block of hash, anything I stole wouldn't be on me. It wouldn't be on their house. it would be in a general area where a couple people had access to. The reason why, if I ever got caught going in there, my buddy did the maintenance for the building, and that's where he would put his tools. There was just like a missing block all the way in the end that unless you put your finger in, you wouldn't be able to pull it out. I pulled it out, and I hid my stuff back there, and I put the block there. So I always had an excuse to be back in there. It was where he hid like a couple shovels, some rakes, couple hammers, some nails, shit like that. That's what was in there. So I never had anything in my house. Plus, I had my jewelry tools in there. My jewelry tools, my stealing tools in there. You know, tools I needed to go in. Pry bar. I had this fucking saw, a hand saw that my buddy had bent for me a certain way so I could just slip it into the door jambs and go right through the door and just push the door right open. I had everything. I wasn't the most high level thief in the world, but I had heart. You know what I'm saying? Show me a thief with heart, and you're gonna find your sneakers are missing. That's all I got to say. So I fucking had it all planned out. I walked past this jewelry store. It's next to the fucking sandwich place. Every time I go to the sandwich place, I would go to the sandwich place at night to see what the jewelry store guy would leave out. He got lazy. You know how I don't know if you know this, most jewelry stores, per their insurance, have to put everything away in a safe at night and lock up the safe. This guy was got half a drunk, half a cokehead, and there's times people would go up there and see him, and he would just lock up and go out and leave, and go to Aspen and leave everything out in the glass. So I was paying attention to him. I would go up there every night just to take a walk and see what nights he would leave things out. And one night that he would leave stuff out for sure was always on Sundays. For some reason on Sundays, especially during football season, he would leave everything out. So I said, you know what? I made myself a promise. I'm not going to break into anything no more. I'm just going to do this one fucking jewelry store. So I got my buddy from the electrician buddy. His name was Bob. That's what I just remembered his name, Bob, Robert. I got Bob to go up there with me and get a sandwich, and we ate the sandwich on the balcony so we could dissect the alarm system. He told me right off the bat, he goes, that type of alarm is usually wired to a police station. This is not a good hit for you. I go, listen, by the time the wire hits the police station, I could go in there and take half that shit that's in those things, and I'm not going to run towards the cops. I'm going to run away from the cops to the condo I got hidden in that closet. I could just go up there, lock my fucking stuff up there, and lock myself in the apartment till the heat cools off. He goes, you got a point. I go, how much response time would I have? He goes, well, depending on what they're doing, I mean, you could see from the jewelry store, you could see the mall, and the police station was on top of the mall. So I say it was maybe a 6 or 7 mile walk, maybe a 4 or 5 minute drive. But if the cops are under the substation, like they're towards the 82, I'm going to see the lights coming up, you know. So he goes, that's what it is. He goes, for me, it's not worth it. But if you feel you could go in there and break the glasses and take everything out. So I went up there. He didn't have cameras. I would study what I needed to bust the stuff to make it more efficient. My plan was to cut the wire so that would get deterred, go in through the back door, come in, pop the 6 locks, and then go back with a bag and empty everything, run out through the front door, puts me through a path, takes me to my hidden condo, my little back cave, where I put on my construction clothes and walk back down the hill past the cops like nothing happened. Like I was just doing some work up there for him. That was the plan on a fucking Tuesday. And I was going to stick to it because The following weekend was going to be New Year's, and then it was going to be January. There was going to be no fucking money in fucking Aspen, which is a lie. There's still money up there, but the big money is going to be Christmas fucking week. I want to do this one heist, lay low all of January, fuck with their head, and then I'll go back to New Jersey in February, and it'll be an unsolved crime. That was my big fucking plan. So sure enough, the week comes when I'm gonna fucking rob the jewelry store. I'm ready to fucking go tip-top magoo. I take my fucking switch clothes. I bring them up to the house up in the daytime. I bring all my tools up in the house in the daytime, and I'm ready to fucking go. The only problem I should have done was I should have created a diversion. I should have lit something on fire or blew up a fucking barn or something. That's where I fucked up. But everywhere else, I was okay. I had all my bases covered. I went up there to check. Sure enough, he left with some chick, left all the diamond rings and bracelets and all the other knickknacks he had in the glass. I'm ready to fucking go. Here we go. Now, like I said, at this time, I had destroyed them all on Christmas Eve. So cops were on high end. It even fucking said it in the local Snowmass paper. Snowmass Village Mall terrorized on Christmas Eve. I kicked down a few doors. Yeah, I took the guy's conga drum. I still think about the conga drum. Like, I have no class whatsoever when it comes to being a klepto. I'm happy I can tell you people these stories, because if not, I got to keep them in the closet, and they'll drive me fucking crazy. So the day comes. It's Sunday. I'm going to rob this motherfucker. I look out my window, and snowflakes this big are coming down. Not this big, this fucking big. It is a fucking utopia of snow. It is coming down like it's nobody's fucking business. I put my boots on. I put my little winter clothing on. I take a little walk up there. They're open, business as usual. People are going in there. The mountain is covered. I used to go to this place called the Stew Pot. It's still there. They make the best fucking stew in the world. They used to make a burgundy beef that would make your little asshole pucker if you fucking tasted it. Just fucking tremendous. So I went to the Stew Pot that day, and I'm scoping out that place, and I'm watching people spending money, because I'm going to, listen, I don't know how much time I'm going to have in that jewelry store, but I'm going to take the jewelry, and then second, I'm going to take the fucking cash. Okay, that's the plan. That's the plan, Stan. First the jewelry, then the cash. Hopefully he leaves the cash in the fucking, the cash box, whatever the fuck it's called. Register. The register. Come 9 o'clock, I look out my window. There's 1.5 feet of snow. And it's still coming down like fucking Jesus is making a comeback. Do you understand me? Like the way, I don't know where you people live right now, but the way it snows like 4 to 6 inches in ski season in Aspen, Snowmass, Riverton, Wyoming, it's 18. It's like a brushing. People look at 18 like, we got snow today. No big fucking deal. Where other people would, in Colorado, it snows 1 foot and nothing. Life goes on. It snowed 1.5 feet here. The mailman don't come. Fucking garbage doesn't come. Colorado, it snows 3 feet. It's business as usual. You could set your time by the fucking bus. That thing is on time by the fucking minute. Anyway, to make a long story short, there's 1.5 feet of fucking snow out there. He calls me up, Bob. He's like, you're not doing it. I'm going, bro, it's going to happen tonight. Tonight's the night. They're going to be stuck with a car accident, or some drunk is going to go off an embankment. They're never going to hear their alarm, if there's even an alarm in the police station. If there's even an alarm in the fucking police station, they're not going to fucking figure it out. Okay. What am I going to do? Fuck it. I'm from North Bergen, New Jersey. I got balls of steel. I'm a dumb fuck. So I go up there. I walk through the fucking snow. fucking 2 feet of fucking snow. I'm walking, I'm getting tired. It's high altitude. I'm huffing and puffing. I finally get up there. There's no shovelers. There's nothing. It's just a couple lights on. I fucking go over to the fucking door. I brought a little fucking stool with me. I popped the stool. I put it down. I snipped the red wire like he told me to. I fucking go around the fucking back. I try to fucking finagle the door. It won't fucking do it, so I go around the front and I fucking stick the thing in and pop, the door opens up. I go in. I go behind the back counter, and as I go behind the back counter to start sticking the fucking pipe in there to fucking bust that fucking lock, I see a red flash on the wall. And I go, holy fuck. I turn around, and sure enough, there's 2 cop cars coming up that fucking hill. 2 Saabs. They had Saabs in Snowmass Village. They're coming up this fucking hill. My heart's beating. Listen, I'm old school. I gotta take something. I broke this. I gotta take something. You attack me with 3 people. I gotta take something. An eye, a finger. I gotta bite a finger. I gotta bite an ear. I gotta stick my finger in an eye. You know what I'm saying? 3 people go jump you. You gotta take something. Something's going to go. A hand, an arm. So I gotta take something. So I'm like I break a fucking glass. I can't break it. It's shatterproof fucking glass. I turn around again. They're getting closer to me. I don't know what the fuck to do. And what do you think I did? I chickened out. I ran out the front fucking door. And I ran directly to the fucking condo house, okay? Now, it's snowing so fucking much that I could tell that those footprints are gonna get covered within minutes. So I'm not running like a regular human being. I'm dragging my feet, okay, like I'm roller skating, which is hell on the fucking cardio when there's 18 inches of fucking snow. I get up to that fucking house. I fucking walk up and down all around the fucking condo. I walk 30 yards up. I see the 2 cop cars pull in. I see the guys pull out their cars. I could see them run up to the mall. I'm already gone. I'm 50 yards away watching them behind a fucking tree making snow tracks on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Trying to throw them off. Mm-hmm. I finally go in. I switch my sweatshirt, whatever thing. I hid it under the fucking guy's couch. And then I went out into the thing, locked the door, hid the fucking key, and I put on like a sweatshirt like I had been painting. You know what I'm saying? Like with a hat and gloves and the whole thing. And you know me, dog. I was always one step ahead. I'm an idiot. I'm not just a complete fucking moron. I fucking walk down the hill. I actually see the cops. And they see me and they're like, how you doing? They're like, have you seen anything suspicious tonight? I go, no. I was up in the condo painting for Roy. Everybody knew who he was, and it would be an alibi. Mm-hmm. Even Roy would say, yeah, he was up there. He gets bored some nights, and he goes up there and does trim for me or whatever. So I had that covered. So I'm like, whew. I fucking walk home. It's like, maybe a 10-minute walk. I walk in my door. I kick the fucking door, I fucking take my boots off. I put them next to the door. And I'm watching fucking TV with my friend, my roommate. My roommate goes, what happened? I go, it was a no-go. And he goes, all right, what are you going to do next time? I go, fuck. I really wanted that jewelry, I really wanted that fucking money. And next thing you know, fucking there's a knock on the door. And I open the door and it's 3 sheriffs. And they're like, can we have a word with you? I'm like, yeah, come on in. And they're like, and I go to one sheriff, how you doing, man? And he goes, where were you tonight when we saw you? And I go, I was at the house painting, I was bored. I didn't want to watch the playoffs were done. I think it was the NFL playoffs or something. And here's the story. I said the story wrong. The cop that I saw didn't come to the house. He was with 2 other cops, and then 3 other cops came to my house, okay? So they knocked on my door, and they asked me where I was. And I told them, I go, I was up at, they go, did you go out tonight? I go, yeah, I was up at Roy's property painting the trimming. I go, in fact, I saw the guys on the walk back down here. And they're like, that's great and all. But what time was this or something? They asked me some type of question. And I go, this must have been like 2 hours ago. I threw him off on the time. And the one cop looked down and the boots were right there. And with the melting, and he goes, this doesn't look like a boot that's been here for 2 hours. This boot would have been a lot more melted. And I was like, out of words. They had me. I'm like, what is this all about? And they're like, well, somebody tried to break into the village jewelry store, and we took a print off from the back door. And when the guy got away, he ran into the mountains. So we lost him, but we picked up this print in the beginning of the driveway. And we measured it, it's a size 11, and we hope your boot is not a size 11. And it was a size 11. And I'm like, what are you fucking saying? That I robbed the fucking jewelry store? Do you not see the fucking paint on my hands? What do you think, I'm stupid? I put paint on my hands. I put a little on my face and shit. I just robbed it. And that's what threw them off. See, that was my, an attorney's job is to prove through a reasonable doubt. Mm-hmm. My fucking job was to just lift that fucking rock. They had their handcuffs. Dog, they had their fucking handcuffs out. And I was like, whoa, what are you talking about? I did this, I just painted, get Roy on the phone. We didn't have a phone, so they had to go next door and call Roy. And Roy goes, yeah, he works for me. Does he usually work Sunday nights at 8 o'clock? And I'm like, there's one day I found him in there on a Monday at 4 in the morning. That kid has sleep problems or whatever. So the guy was like, okay, but stick around. We're going to come right back and question you and all this shit. And I'm like, okay.
See you.
And this had to be December 28th, maybe, 29th. And I left that. All I had to hold on to was February 1st. I did not jaywalk until February fucking 1st. So for me to get out of there. So the lesson learned today here and that was basically, well, it depends how you look at it. It depends how you look at it. That basically I felt bad for my roommate because my roommate was also from North Bergen. He was a great guy, and I didn't want him ridiculed. Like I told you guys a long time ago, I'm not the type of guy that likes taking people into dark alleys. If I like doing shit, I like doing shit alone, so nobody else gets in trouble. I don't need a fucking partner. If you listen to any of those stories, there was never really a partner. I did all those things alone because I didn't want to humiliate somebody else, and I didn't want to put anybody else. I have friends that went on a couple of ice with me and stuff like that as a try, but it's not what I wanted for them, and it wasn't for me. When Jimmy Burkle was one of my best friends in life, God rest his soul, and when those cops knocked on the door, that was not his world. If it was his world, I wouldn't have given a fuck, but it wasn't his fucking world. So, those cops were in that apartment for like 35 minutes. And every time I looked at him, his face was getting redder and redder. I felt horrible for him. That wasn't his fucking world. So, it's just to show you that life's a motherfucker sometimes. I knew how to be a fucking burglar without the snow with the snow. I almost fucking got caught. There ain't a point to this story today. I just wanted to tell you this story to get it out of the way because it just reminded me of the fucking snow and what I went through. You guys have no idea what I went through being a burglar with the fucking snow. It was a complete nightmare. And someday, after I write my first book, I'll write a third or fourth book, Blunders in the Snow, of me robbing things and the snow being a fucking nightmare. I remember one time I robbed this dude's house. And what I would do is whenever I robbed somebody's house in Creekside, the first thing I would do is I would open up the back door. So I would
See how to exit.
I would have an additional exit. So I fucking put the thing in the door, I would open the door, and then I'd run to the back door, and it was a sliding glass door. This is windows here. This was a sliding glass door. I would open up the sliding glass door and open it in case I had to run out of there, and in case somebody was coming through the front door. One night I heard a car pull up, and I heard it because it was like it was like that wood that they use on kids' playgrounds, like that chunk wood to get to the front door, and then you had stairs. It looked like kids' playground. I don't know why. I heard a guy walking through that one night, and I'm like, holy shit. So I started running towards the door, and as I opened up the curtain and I ran towards the door, I realized I had opened the door, but I left the screen on. And I'll never forget fucking going through the screen, and the screen didn't break. The screen, I didn't go through the screen. I hit the screen, and the screen went down with me. Boom, like the bottom of a grinder. And all the snow popped up on top of me, and I fucking got up and ran. It wasn't even a guy who lived in the fucking apartment. It was some guy who lived in another fucking 2 apartments over there. Dog, I got tons of blunder fucking thievery stories. Like I told you guys, I don't come on here to tell you how smart I am or how much of a whiz kid I am or whatever. I come on here to tell you the truth. I'm a fucking half a retard. And if that story today don't prove it, I don't know what does. He told me 18 times that fucking thing was wired to the police station. I'm like, this guy, he's not that smart.
It's not that wire.
No, it's not that fucking wire. What the fuck do I know? Another fun-filled fucking story with your Uncle Joey today. I just wanted to check in on you again. I am very sorry about bringing you the podcast on a fucking Thursday. I know that it's in your rotation on a Wednesday, but hey, man, we got foots of snow, feet of fucking snow. I don't know how to fucking say it. We got tons of snow fucking everywhere. And I figured I'd put the album of the week up on Patreon to give you something. Great album, fucking Santana Abraxas. So I took care of you on Patreon. The other guys, you guys have other podcasts to listen to or whatnot. I felt bad for you, though. It's not something I like doing, but we had to do what was best for both of us. Mikey has kids. I have kids. I didn't want Mike driving in fucking 2 feet of snow and fucking hitting some fucking guy with a go slow sign. You ever see those guys? You never see them till you're right there. It's like a guy on a bike when you're about to make the right and he's standing there and you're like, where the fuck you been? I've been here for 10 minutes. I haven't seen you. Now I'm about to make the right. Now you want to go straight, cocksucker? They drive you fucking crazy. It's tough to even drive anymore. Anyway, I love you motherfuckers. It's been a great week. I had a rough day yesterday also, kind of in a way. I'm happy I kind of didn't do the podcast yesterday. Not that I had a rough day. I don't want you guys to think I had a rough day and was crying or anything like that. Yesterday was my daughter's 31st birthday. I haven't seen my daughter and God knows how fucking long. Right now, I can't even call her my daughter. I have to call her my ex-daughter. But it's funny how I thought about her a lot yesterday. I have no gripes at her. I'm not mad at her. She did what she had to do, and I created my own situation. A lot of men, a lot of women, a lot of people will never tell you this. It's always something happened to them or somebody did something to them. And this situation, I brought it upon myself. I acted a certain way. I acted like a fucking jerk off. I'm not gonna lie to you. I went into full Joe Diaz asshole mode when I was her father. Never anything towards her. It was the war that me, her mother, and her stepfather had. Today, I had justifications for some of my arguments, and for some of the other arguments, I was just arguing to be an asshole. You know, out of the 100 things I tell you about this situation, 50% of them are true. 50% of it are probably how I felt at the time, or how I looked at it, or how I saw it at the time. You know, somebody asked me the other day why I felt the way I did. She moved my child into another man's house without even telling me, without even asking me. You know, I don't know about you or where you came from. In the neighborhood where I live now, if you were to do that to me and I shot you in the fucking head and I called the cops, I think the cops would understand. You know, she did something to me that shouldn't have been done. But there's another side to that story. I should have been more of a fucking man, and she wouldn't have done that. Right or wrong. You know, by me acting like an immature fucking punk that I was, I drove her and my daughter into another man's arms. I drove her into another man's arms. My daughter had nothing to do with it. She was a victim of circumstances. But it is what it is. You know, it was my behavior. It was her behavior also. It takes two to tango. But I want to apologize to her. If any of her friends watch this podcast or listen or whatever, I just want to wish her a happy belated birthday. I still love you to death. It's funny when I go at night and kiss my daughter. Like I kiss my daughter comes out the living room and gives me a kiss. And then I go in there about 9:25 and give her another kiss while she's awake. And then I go back in there about 11 and I give her another kiss while she's sleeping. And I grab her foot to see how big her feet are getting. And it's so weird how the last time I go in there around 11, right before Miami Vice, I always go, what fucking life am I living in? I'm living in a twilight zone. I'm living in a twilight zone because I had a daughter, she was taken from me, and I'm right back where I started from with another daughter who's 8 years old, who now I treat and I act around her how a man should act. This is how a man should act. I act around her this way, I act around my wife that way, and that's why we've been here 20 years. So in a way, I lost a daughter, but I learned how to live a new life, and I made a new life, and I have a new life, and I have a life that's fucking working. You know, that's the bottom line. Whatever the fuck you want to say, it's working. Me, my little reefer, my little bong hits, my couple edibles, my fucked up knee with the stitches, my fucking eyebrows, my gray hair, it's working. So I just want to wish her a happy belated. I want to wish her the best future she has coming to her. I am not angry at her whatsoever. I'm not angry at her whatsoever. You have to earn your right to be a father. I never earned the right to be a father with her. I earned my right to be a father with Mercy, and I feel comfortable with that, and I'm good with that, and I can live with that. So if you ever went through what I went through with a child, make amends with yourself. You'll feel a lot better. I feel great. When I used to talk about this subject 10 years ago on the podcast, it was a little uncomfortable. Today, I have a daughter. I'm living to the twilight zone. It's like nothing ever happened. I'm right back to where I started again, and then some, so I have nothing to complain about. I don't bitch about the shit I don't have. I'm thankful and I'm grateful for the shit I do have, and I leave it at that. And with that, that's another fun-filled fucking podcast. Don't forget tonight, Lakers fucking Denver, Philly Phoenix. Take a look at those lines. Philly Portland. That's for you with DraftKings. Don't forget the Super Bowl this weekend. Don't forget DraftKings. And please, don't forget the Relief Band. It's fucking great. I know all your parents. The reason, let me tell you something about Relief Band before I close on this. Fucking, I get this in the mail. My agent usually calls me and she says, hey, there's a company that's interested in being on your podcast. Do you want to try their product out? I say yes or no. It's not going to work. I have a chart of things that you guys are interested in, that you're really interested in. I wouldn't try to sell you something that you're not interested in. I wouldn't even try to bring light to it. She didn't tell me with this. I get this in the mail. When you get this in the mail, this Relief Band, it talks about, clinically proven and wonder. I gotta put my glasses on. I'm sorry, cocksuckers. It's motion sickness, morning sickness, chemotherapy, post-operative, physician-diagnosed migraines, anxiety, and hangovers. Well, I had two of those. I have post-operative and anxiety, okay? So I looked at it and I go, I wonder who sent me this. I called Bob Lalingus. I called everybody who sends me gifts, like off-color gifts. I have like 10 of you motherfuckers that know how to send me gifts. You send me the best gifts and the shit that I can never find on my own. I called Bob. I called my fucking cousin. I called a friend of mine in Florida. He sends me books. I called a friend of mine in Canada. Nobody sent me this. I called my acupuncturist. Nobody fucking sent me this. Okay? I asked my doctor when I went to surgery. I go, did you fucking send me this watch? He goes, no. Who the fuck sent me this goddamn watch? This week, she calls me. She's like, oh, what did you think of the watch? I go, what fucking watch? The movement watch? I loved it. She goes, no. The Relief Band watch. I go, did you send me that? She goes, yeah. Holy fuck. I've been banging my head for 5 fucking weeks trying to find out who the fuck sent me the Relief Band, and it was you. But you know what? It works. It's kept me together. Those fucking oxycodones make you nauseated as fuck. I fucking got sick 2 times in the drive back from PT. I got sick one morning in here, and ever since that time, I've been wearing that watch. So if you suffer from nausea, this is the watch for you. And beside that, that's it. We're good to go. We had a great week. I'm sorry the podcast was late, but we're here, we're queer, and that's all that fucking matters, all right? Do not forget this weekend Super Bowl. Me, I think I'm going to go with the totals. How's that? I love Brady too much. He's getting 3 points. Mahomes, a great fucking quarterback. I don't know what the fuck he's going to do. I don't know. So let's just play the totals, enjoy the game, and have a great weekend, guys. Remember what I told you about DraftKings. If you got a problem, take it somewhere else. You don't need to be gambling. Go fucking take care of your problems. And without further ado, I love you motherfuckers. Have a great weekend. Stay black. See you Monday. Here's for a word from our sponsors. That wasn't a fart. That was the chair. Anyway, I want to thank you motherfuckers for listening today. It's a beautiful Thursday. Sorry we were late with the podcast. Mike lives a distance from here. The snow was too crazy. You know what? And it worked out a lot better on a Thursday anyway. You're having a better time. But before I get out of here, let's talk about what's happening this weekend. You know what's happening this weekend. Mucho fucking dinero. That's what's happening this weekend. And for you motherfuckers who never saw Sesame Street, that means a lot of money to be made. What's coming up? It's the fucking Super Bowl. The 55th Super Bowl is here this Sunday, live from Tampa. The Buccaneers with Tom Brady versus the Chiefs with the fucking quarterback that's a whiz kid. Right now, the party starts at DraftKings. It's Super Bowl weekend. It's Thursday. This party starts right now at fucking DraftKings. To celebrate the football finale, DraftKings Sportsbook is doubling your money if a touchdown is scored in a big game. A single touchdown. That's all it takes. That's right. It only takes one touchdown to be scored Sunday night, and boom, your money is double. Sounds like a no-brainer, right? A single touchdown, and you double your dough. That's it. If you've been waiting all year on the sidelines, that's it. This is the last fucking train out. That's it. That's it. No more fucking around. You got to jump on this fucking deal today. One touchdown is scored and you win money, and you're sitting there thinking like fucking, like you're a fucking philosopher. Go fuck yourself. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Right now, use promo code Joey and get a shot at doubling your money if a touchdown is scored on Sunday's game. And don't forget about DraftKings Big Game Prediction Challenge, with up to $55 million in total prizes up for grabs and instant prizes for everybody who enters the contest. That's fucking fun. You want to have fun? That's fucking fun. DraftKings has paid out over $7 billion since 2012. That's fun. And you could be on the other side of that. You could be picking up that fucking envelope. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today, right now. Use promo code Joey and get a shot at doubling your money during Sunday night's fucking Super Bowl. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. And here's the part the lawyers make me say. You got to be 21 or older. New Jersey, Indiana, Colorado only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/prediction-challenge DFS for details. Now, if you have a gambling problem, you gotta stop. That's the good thing about DraftKings. You can't gamble over your head. Call 1-800-GAMBLER, or in Indiana 1-800-9-WITH-IT, or in Colorado 1-800-522-4700. But if you ain't got no problems and you're showing up correct and you want to make some fucking cash this weekend, whether it be fantasy, over and under, special picks, challenges, DraftKings Sportsbook is the app for you. Download it now and press in code Joey. The joint is also brought to you by Relief Band. Listen, do you know a third of Americans suffer from nausea? Yeah, take a look at my face. It's nauseating. That's what I'm talking about. You don't need this in your life. You understand me? That's why I'm excited about our new partner, Relief Band. I'm wearing it right now. I've had it on for 4 weeks. Relief Band is the #1 FDA-cleared anti-nausea wristband that has been clinically proven to relieve and prevent nausea and vomiting. The product is 100% drug-free, so it doesn't make you drowsy, and it has 0 side effects. You know, it's not what you ever watch a commercial. This has a side effect. You might want to gamble. You might want to kill yourself. Nothing like that here, okay? This blocks a signal from your brain, sending to your stomach telling you that you're sick. That's how it works. It simulates a nerve in the wrist that travels to the part of the brain that controls nausea. Then it blocks the signal your brain is sending to your stomach. It's fucking science. Relief Band is the only over-the-counter wearable band that has been used in hospitals and oncology clinics to treat nausea and vomiting. All of you have a sick mother, a sick dad, a sick aunt, a sick grandmother, a sick uncle. They have nausea. This is a great gift for Valentine's Day, whatever. I don't care. Help them out. This has helped me out tremendously. I charge it at night when I'm sleeping. I wake up in the morning, I throw it on my wrist. I give it a breather in the afternoon. If I take a nap, I charge it again. It is on my wrist all day. Do you understand me? It's beautiful. You go like this. You control how strong you want the power on it. If you want the power to be boom, boom, there you have it. There you have it. So do yourself a favor. Ensure nausea is never the reason to miss out on life's important moments. Right now, Relief Band has a special offer for all Uncle Joey's Joint listeners. If you go to reliefband.com and use promo code Joey, listen to this, 20% off, free shipping, and a no questions asked 30-day money-back guarantee. Did you hear me? 20% off, free shipping, and a no questions asked 30-day money-back guarantee. So head on over to Relief Band, ReliefBand.com, and use promo code Joey for 20% off and get some relief. I want to thank Relief Band. I want to thank DraftKings. I want to thank Onnit, CBD Lion. I want to thank all you guys for being part of the family and for listening. I want to thank, who else was there this week? I want to thank MVMT Watches, who had our back this week. Please support these companies. You know, everything's done over the mail, whatever. But don't forget what I told you about DraftKings, especially tonight with the Lakers, Denver. And you got a great game with Portland, Philly. Take a look at the line. And make sure you get it on the Super Bowl. That's it and that's that. I love you motherfuckers. Have a great weekend. Sorry about the podcast coming on Thursday, but we showed up no matter what and we delivered the goods. Enjoy. Love you, cocksuckers. Stay black.